How's everyone doing today? Real McCoy here, and we are going to be going over my 23andMe DNA report. So let's check it out here. So I did this like weeks ago, and it took like a really long time. It took like about a month or 2 months to get back. So this is a while ago. It was definitely expensive. It was like $150 for it, which is it's a little much for what you get, but let's take a look at some of what we got here. So let's check late onset Alzheimer's disease. See if I have anything to do with that. Okay, so I have 0 variants for that. That's good. Alzheimer's is terrible disease. Age-related macular degeneration. Let's check that out. Age-related macular degeneration, AMD, is the most common cause of irreversible vision loss among older adults. The disease results in damage to the central part of the retina, the macula, impairing vision needed for reading, driving, or even recognizing faces. This test includes 2 most common variants associated with an increased risk of developing the condition. So I have 1 of the 2 genetic variants. So just basically that means that I'm not going to get it, but if I were to have a kid with someone that also had a variant, that I might give it to the kid, I guess. Is that limb-girdle muscular dystrophy type 2I. LGMD2I or I is a rare genetic disorder. It is characterized by muscle weakness that worsens over time, as well as heart and lung problems. A person must have 2 variants in the FKRP gene in order to have this condition. Okay, so I don't have that. That's good. Okay, let's check out the ancestry, because being the real McCoy, Irish is the typical thing here. So, okay, so 59% is French and German. So I'm only 14.7% British and Irish. It's interesting. So 59% of me is from here, and then, okay, so they just kind of lumped Ireland and Britain together. Interesting, I guess. French, and so it's just this whole big area right here. All right. 3% Scandinavian, 19.4% broadly Northwestern European, 2.2% Southern European, 0.2% Italian, broadly Southern European, Eastern European, and broadly European. All right, so I'm pretty European. Got it. Okay, my generic weight. I am predisposed to weigh more than average. Yep, definitely see where it's coming from with that. Brett, your genes predispose you to weigh about 4% more than average. So average is 163. We can avoid fast food, exercise, limiting red meat, eating vegetables, and sleeping a healthy amount. I do not sleep a healthy amount at all. It says I'm likely intolerant to lactose. Like, I love cheese. Cheese is amazing. I've never had any problem eating cheese or anything like that, so guess that's not entirely accurate. So I should be lactose intolerant, but I'm not. All right, so this could be a, tests aren't entirely accurate, I guess. Saturated fat and weight. Your weight is likely to be similar on diets high or low in saturated fat with the same number of total calories. The maternal haplogroup. You descend from a long line of women that can be traced back to Eastern Africa over 150,000 years ago. These are the women of your maternal line. Your maternal haplogroup sheds light on their story. So T2A1A. So I guess they started here, and then they just progressed up here and then spread out from there. Today you share your haplogroup with all the maternal line descendants of the common ancestor of T2A1A, including other 23andMe customers. So 1 in 360 people that did this DNA test share the results. Oh, look at that. Jesse James belonged to my haplogroup. Little old Western gangster there. I have fewer Neanderthal variants than 65% of customers. So I am 65% less of Neanderthal than other people that took this. Alrighty. Paternal haplogroup. As our ancestors ventured out of Eastern Africa, they branched off in diverse groups that crossed and recrossed the globe over tens of thousands of years ago. Some of their migrations can be traced through haplogroups, families of lineages that descend from a common ancestor. The paternal haplogroup can reveal the path followed by the men of your paternal line. Okay, so they started down here, went up here, and then curved around, and then sprout from there. Alright. You share a paternal line ancestor with Nile of the Nine Hostages. Look that up. Nile Noah Gialch. I don't know how to say that. Translation is Nile of the Nine Hostages was a prehistoric Irish king. Oh, okay. The ancestor of Nile dynasties that dominated the northern half of Ireland from the 6th to the 10th century. Alright. Check out the DNA family here. Learn about your DNA relatives, the diverse group of 23andMe customers who have DNA in common with you. Only individuals who have chosen to participate in DNA relatives are the subject of this report. Okay, so I have 1,019 DNA relatives that have used 23andMe and allowed themselves to participate in the relatives search. Okay, that's interesting. So all of my relatives that have either done this test or whatever are in the North America or Canada. All right, well, I'm from Pennsylvania, so 50 DNA relatives who live in Pennsylvania. That sounds about right. Then I really have DNA relatives all throughout the country, like 35 in Texas, 15 to 20 in Arizona, 85 in California, like just really everywhere here. I don't have variants for these. I'm going to skip all those. Alcohol flush reaction. I am unlikely to flush, which my cheeks definitely get pretty rosy when I'm drinking. Likely to consume more caffeine. So I don't drink coffee like hardly at all, but I do drink a lot of tea. Now, depending on time of day, I'll drink caffeinated tea or the decaffeinated tea. Like right now, I have it's a nighttime type tea you drink before you go to sleep. So pretty low in caffeine, but during the day I'll have a couple cups of tea that are caffeinated. But I mean, I don't think I drink more than average. Okay, that's pretty interesting stuff here. People that drink too much caffeine and then go through caffeine withdrawal. That's obvious. I'm less likely to be a deep sleeper. I mean, I can sleep through a lot of things. I mean, that might just be because of being in the Marines, because like you kind of have to learn to sleep with a lot of noise, sleeping around a lot of people, trying to like sleep through people shooting and all that kind of stuff like that. So I mean, yeah. Plus, I mean, like sleeping right here, like artillery rounds are landing and stuff like that, so you kind of hear like the explosions from those. So I mean, I don't know about that. I sleep pretty good. Muscle composition. Your genetic muscle composition is common in elite power athletes. Whoa. Boy. I don't know about that. Okay, yeah, I definitely don't have that. I mean, maybe I can build muscle easier and like, run faster if I tried, but who knows? Likely more than average movement. I definitely move around in my sleep. Like my bed every morning is completely trashed. Like my sheet is on top of me and my blanket's like underneath me, or some kind of crazy combination like that. So the more average, so times moved per hour during sleep, 16 times per hour. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Alrighty. Bald spots. DNA can influence not just whether you experience hair loss, but also where you lose it. If you have hair loss, you're not likely to experience a distinct bald spot. This is more interesting here because both my dad, grandfather, and my uncle all have bald spots. So for me not to, or be extremely unlikely, that's interesting. Like, I like to keep my hair, all right, so hopefully this is true, but I mean, with the family history there, I don't know about that. I likely can't taste bitter things. Certain bitter compounds. Okay. Need an excuse not to eat your broccoli. Vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts contain certain bitter compounds that only some people can detect. Okay, because like I do like broccoli and Brussels sprouts. I dump a lot of salt on them, but like I do enjoy them. I don't think they taste that terribly bitter. We got light or dark hair, likely to be dark. Well, yeah, that's true. So I'm likely not to have hair loss. This is very interesting because my dad's in his 50s and he's got a decent amount of hair loss. So I mean, for me not to have it, like my grandfather almost has no hair. I mean, he's like really old, so I mean that's. But I mean, so you're not likely to experience hair loss before the age of 40. Okay. I mean, that's nice. Need to keep my flowing locks for till I'm at least over 40. It could be a case of cross wires in the brain. For some people, bright sun kicks off a round of sneezing. Scientists think that it may be due to overstimulation of parts of the brain that are responsible for vision. I can definitely see that because every time I walk out and it's like super bright outside, I sneeze like 2 or 3 times. Every time. Here we got finger length ratio. Scientists and fortune tellers alike have tried reading meaning into the relative length of your fingers. The real story is that it's complicated, but DNA definitely has a hand in it. So you are more likely to have a longer ring finger than index finger. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, this is where I'm going to leave the video here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you would like to know all this kind of stuff like this, I recommend getting the kit, but it does come with a pretty hefty price. So once again, this is Real McCoy here, and if you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.